Hi, I've been asked to speak to you today to go over the results of my evaluation of educational technology for use in teaching the clinical microbiology class. The educational technology that I looked at to evaluate is a laboratory simulation program that is available through Intuitive Systems Incorporated, and it is available as a download from the internet, and it is titled The Virtual Unknown Microbiology Internet Edition. And I've utilized the actions model to perform this evaluation, and the actions model incorporates a series of topics which are important for consideration when deciding on the use of educational technology in a course or a program. The first thing we're asked to look at in the action model is access. How accessible is this technology for the learners? And I have found this particular simulation program is very accessible. It is available for download on the internet, and it comes in a version that is compatible with Mac computers as well as having a Windows version. So users with either a Mac or a Windows will find the program that will work best for their system. The only limitations I could think of to the accessibility of this program would be if the student does not have their own personal computer at their disposal. But even that can be addressed, because if students do not have their own computer, as long as they can access a computer with internet service, either through a library or through the student computer laboratories here at the college campus, then they are able to access this program. In addition, in the MLT laboratories, we do have a series of about 10 computer stations that are available for only the medical laboratory technology students to use for their work. So the limitation that would be placed on this situation is these computers are only available during open laboratory time. So the students would have to make sure they come in during set times for using these computers if that's necessary. Next, we're looking at, is this educational technology flexible? Can we change it or use it to target a particular group that needs to be targeted? And the answer to that is yes. This instructor module that comes with this program appears to be very easy to modify, and it can be personalized by the instructor. It comes standard with 120 microbes and over 50 biochemical tests in its program, and it runs through true simulation of aseptic technique, beginning with selection of media, inoculation, transfer techniques, incubation, and interpretation of biochemical test results, and it actually goes all the way through to the disposal of the infectious waste at the end of organism identification. The program can be flexibly modified to address a particular target, in that it can be set up to allow mistakes to be corrected as they happen, so that it can be more of a formative tool used for student learning, or it can be set up to be more of a final summative type of grade. It also comes with the ability for the instructor to design their own custom laboratory manual, and that can then be put together utilizing the resources in the program, and it can create a very specific manual for use with the simulation. It also has additional programs within it where assessments can be designed for more general topics like laboratory safety. And there is also a module for creating scientific posters, so the more advanced students in the class can be given a topic of designing an actual research presentation as well, utilizing this program. And probably the most key feature is that the unknowns can be assigned by the instructor. They're not just randomly generated. The instructor can personalize which student receives which organism, so weakness areas can be addressed through extra practice. Costs of the program are really very minimal. The fee attached to downloading this program for the students is $25 for a 6-month access code, and then they have full use of the program, and that is really a very reasonable amount. That fee could easily be justified in that use with this program also allows for the customized laboratory manual to be created from the program, and that can be distributed to the students as well. So the cost is really minimal to acquire the software, and then it should be a one-time fee for the duration of the course. In looking at how this simulation addresses the teaching and learning of the clinical laboratory students, the program assessments can be set up to be formative or summative, which is very helpful. Formative assessments can allow the instructor to go in and see exactly what the students need help with, where the areas of weakness might be located, and then the instructor can offer advice right into the assessment area and can kind of guide the students as they're going through the process. Again, it can be used to program summative assessments. So once the instructor feels that the modules have been completely covered and practiced, then the final assessments can be made as well. This program is very active learning based. The students are in control of interacting within the program, and it also allows for safe assignment of certain infectious diseases. There are some organisms that are not covered in a routine clinical microbiology course simply because handling of those organisms are extremely dangerous because they are highly infective. With the simulation program, we can assign even these organisms as an unknown, so the students can at least work through them in a simulated environment, so that if they do happen to come across them in clinical practice, they can at least have this simulation experience to fall back on, as opposed to just reading about it or learning about it in a lecture classroom. Clinical laboratory students need to become knowledgeable in the identification of clinically relevant organisms, and they must be prepared with these laboratory skills to function as an intern, because after the courses are completed, they need to practice as a clinical intern, and then eventually they will be seeking a license to practice and seek employment as well. Now more than ever, our students need to be highly prepared for these clinical internships. The clinical sites are becoming very particular about the type of students that they want to accept, and the competition for these seats is increasing as enrollment has gone up across the board in face-to-face programs, as well as the addition of new online degree programs that are out there. And students taking these online programs are usually responsible for securing their own clinical sites. So again, our students are in competition with all of these other students when it comes to finding a seat in a clinical internship. And this was a big topic of discussion at the table talk sessions at the Clinical Laboratory Educator Conference in Kansas City last February. Again, these interactive simulation programs, while have not been specifically researched in terms of clinical microbiology, there are some studies out there in relation to other laboratory science courses. So I would like to just quote a few of those studies. Anu Gokal from the Illinois State University reported a study in 1996 how the use of simulations in her laboratory enhanced higher order thinking skills in her students. And this occurred through the guided discovery that happened as they worked through their simulations. The student group that used the simulations scored significantly better than students taught by traditional methods on their final assessments. So again, this particular program that I'm looking at does offer a lot of assessment capability, and that is always a good thing, to have extra ongoing review and practice while they're working. It is important, and studies have shown that formative assessment gives students prompt feedback, and it allows the instructors to target the areas that struggling students need assistance with. So again, this particular program that I'm looking at does offer a lot of assessment capability, and that is always a good thing, to have extra. Next, we look at the interactivity and the user-friendliness of the program. And this particular program does appear to be highly interactive. The student is in control of the steps taken to identify the unknown organisms. In addition, there's a lot of references available within the program that students can access. There's fact sheets, there's images and videos that the students can access as they need additional help in understanding particular topics. And there is a support screen available for posting any problems in a discussion thread format, so multiple users can come together to have discussions about using the simulation program. Organizational issues involved primarily would involve training of the faculty, how to use the simulation program, and I'm also recommending that the support staff be trained as well, such as the laboratory managers, as the students come in to work in the labs during the open lab time. It would be beneficial for the students to have staff present that is versed in using the program. Other than that, there really were no major changes or barriers that were identified. The novelty of this program, the current program that's available has been offered only since 2012, so it's an updated version. And in general, simulation programs, though, have been around for many years, and there is a lot of literature in dealing with simulation in various fields, ranging from aviation through nursing through medical instruction. So, and many of them report similar outcomes and increased learnings. Some studies suggest, as I also suggest, that this type of technology should be used as an enhancement for actual hands-on laboratory sessions. It should not be intended to replace them in this particular instance in dealing with clinical microbiology, but it could be an excellent enhancement for the students. And lastly, the speed. How quickly can we incorporate this technology? The current course design can be easily revised to add in assignments that would utilize this educational technology. So assignments would have to be created that would link to this simulation program. The instructor is able, through the instructor module of the program, to customize cases and assign any unknown organisms directly to particular students. And also the instructor would have to create a laboratory manual that can be distributed to the students that would correspond with the particular assignments. So most of the incorporation would have to be done at the level of the instructor as far as developing and redesigning the course. So as quickly as that can be done, the program could be implemented. And again, I recommend that if we do decide to adopt this course, that we relook at it after the students have used it, and perhaps run some focus groups during the first year that it is in use, so that we can assess how it is working for the students in particular. Thank you for your time, and I do recommend that we try this product out, as I think it can be a great enhancement for our students' learning. Thanks.